Sheriff. Recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Allred.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank you for holding this hearing. It's on an incredibly important topic at an important time. And thank you, Mr. Administrator, for being here. I know that we're all united in wanting to restore confidence in our air travel. You know, when we have some Americans out travel quite a bit, as we all do, and I was sitting next to some folks the other day who were saying that they were filtering out in their travel plans the planes that they think are unsafe. And when we have that, we know that we have to respond. And so we have to respond together. Here on our responsibility is to help you to ensure that we remain the gold standard. And you certainly have my commitment on that. And I wanted to just ask you about, in reference to Boeing's internal oversight, you stated that it's time to re-examine the delegation of authority and assess any associated safety risks. Can you discuss how the FAA intends to change oversight at the manufacturing sites to meet this goal?
So what we're doing a number of things. We're doing an audit of the manufacturing process. We are looking into what is delegated, what could be overseen by a third party, and we have inspectors on the ground talking to employees to understand sort of the ground truth, if you will, of what's happening, what the pressures are. And based on that outcome, we will look at putting together a program to continue to add direct oversight to what otherwise was sort of an auditing approach, so a much more hands-on approach going forward. That'll be really designed after this 6-week audit period is finished and we have a better understanding of what's going on in the factory.
And do you need any further authorizations or support from the Congress in order to do that? Is there anything in the FAA reauthorization that would assist in that?
Well, I do appreciate you saying that the willingness to work together. I do think with a problem like this, we all need to be rowing in the same direction. Congress, Boeing, the airlines, the FAA. I think we all want the same outcome, which is safe airplanes. So we will certainly come back with you on that. I think we do anticipate needing to hire more inspectors. The oversight before was a different skill set, and we need folks who are trained to be on the ground and much more hands-on. So we do anticipate some hiring. I think we have the authorizing authority to do that. We may need to find the money to do it, but I think that'll be a top priority, and we'll either come back for that or we'll make it work one way or the other.
Because there's an inherent tension here between competition, the need to rush products to market. I remember back when we dealt with the MAX initially, a few years back, some of the internal discussions about needing to compete when you're also your own regulator or doing your own internal reviews. And so it seems to me that we have to have more on our side in terms of independent investigators. And I recognize the cost associated with that, but I think that for the American flying public, it's a cost that's worth us bearing in terms of making sure that we don't have another incident like what we had. And so in order to have a truly safe system, it seems to me that we can't rely on the manufacturers themselves to be their own watchdogs. Is that something you would agree with?
I certainly agree that the current system is not working because it's not delivering safe aircraft. So we have to make some changes to that. And I think we also have to look at the culture. To your point, incentives drive behavior, and I think maybe we need to look at the incentives to make sure safety is getting the appropriate first rung of consideration that it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, I played in the NFL, and if they'd let us be our own referees, every time an offensive lineman tried to block me, it would have been a holding call. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is certainly something we should work on. I wanted to come really quickly to the announcement that you just issued about the installation of the first modernized tower simulation system for traffic controller training in my state, Austin Bergstrom International Airport. Can you elaborate how this technology will benefit our controller workforce that's already stretched so thin?
So these simulators, they're in a way a simple technology. It's a circle of screens that really reproduces the environment of that particular airport and allows controllers to train on that environment. So that works for new controllers, but also if you have a system, if you have a problem at your airport, for example, a hotspot area, or some other persistent problem that we've identified, existing controllers can actually train to that problem in that simulator. So it can be it can be thrown at them as a situation to see how they respond and becomes a learning tool. So it's really important for current training, but also for helping move controllers fast through the training process.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. I yield back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.